Okay guys, part 2 of our May 2024 geese strangle review. So we've already put the first video out where we looked at strangles from the mount, from the back, from the side mount, and from the closed guard. Just going to finish off now checking out strangles from the side control, from the knee ride, from the turtle, and from the front headlock position. Okay, so if Jace is here, if we get our classic side control position, one of the best options we have available, if we move through the front, and we can manage to get our hand underneath his arm here and get control of the lapel on this close side here. Once we get here and we can burrow down and get his hand out of the way, we can come in and get a paper cutter. So with this one in particular, if I come over the top here trying to catch it, he's going to fight with his free hand and give me a lot of trouble. So what I want to do, bring my arm on this side and punch my forearm into his neck. So I've got this detail from Jean-Jacques Machado. Punch the forearm in and just from here, get your thumb inside. Once you get this becomes a really tight choke. Okay, so thumb goes in, I close everything off from here. If I just sit here and squeeze, nothing happens, but as soon as I lift my elbow up, that'll tighten up the gi. So as soon as you see, without the grip in here, as soon as my elbow comes high, you see everything tighten up in through the side here. That's what makes this choke very effective. So that's a good choke. Second one from here, if Jesse just come this way a little bit, please. We're going to look at a baseball choke, but just a different way of setting it up again from the side control. So again, we're here. Normal with a baseball choke, we'll see we do this from the knee ride in a second, that we actually feed our hands in from the top. But when I try and do it, if I try to feed my hands in from down low, it doesn't work, so we can surprise our opponent by doing things in reverse. Okay, so we're on top. Again, I'm going to, normally we go in and get our thumb in if we're going to grip on this side, but I'm going to go in 4 fingers first. So I go in reverse grip, get that 4 finger grip in here. Again, he doesn't really think much is happening here, which is good. And from here now, I can come around via north-south, all the way through the top, get that forearm on top, and now just to start piping, I'm in a position where it's easy to feed my thumb in. So once I come down low here, I can get here, my thumb can come underneath and join through, and now I can join my hands together in a baseball grip. And once I've got this, all I've got to do is lift up and now squeeze to finish. Okay, so that's a good option available as well from there. Next option we want to look at is a Brabo choke. Again, this is one that we very, very rarely do. I kind of don't like this jiu-jitsu. If you're having to rely on this, you know, it's lots probably going wrong. But anyway, if we are here, if I manage to pull this out, I can get this nice and loose, this gi, the lapel, bring it underneath his arm and bring it through here. It's a great way to control someone from this position, because now I can lock him in with that extra grip. But what we can also do from here is I can grab this grip and I can feed it through nice and deep, where I can now come up and then I can get my hand in through here and get a hold of this grip. So once I switch it to this lapel over here, now I've got an option to have that baseball choke again, but from a different angle. So I grab, holding on with both here, that grip's nice and strong, controlling underneath the arm, pinch my elbows together, again I circle around to the front. If I just circle this way and put it on, Jace will keep circling and following me, and nothing will happen. So he comes back, so I make sure from here, once I tripod up, my head goes on the ground next to his hip, lift my head up as a block, hips go up, and that choke will come off. The last one we did from here was just a step over choke. So same thing again, this time we're in position, we've got a nice control. I'm going to put my thumb on the inside and grab the lapel here. Again, it's not very threatening in this position, which is good. So he doesn't think much is going on, but from here we can switch our base. If I get inside this elbow here, I'm going to come over the top of my leg and I'm going to bring my leg down close to his head. Transfer all your weight down towards the hip here, and now I'm going to extend my leg as I pull. Again, it's that pulling motion of your body weight that really brings this choke on. So my legs are close to his head, I pull back and stretch, and the choke comes on through there. So a few good options from the side control. Next up, we just looked at that Brabo choke from the side control, and also doing that from the, you can do that same idea from the knee ride, but we'll look at a couple of other classic chokes. So if I'm up on the knee on belly, our classic position, getting our hand in nice and deep and controlling his elbow. If I can control his elbow here and then shelf my forearm on my thigh here, it's a very, very controlling position. Makes it difficult for him to escape. But from here, anytime that arm gets free and I get the opportunity to, I keep my forearm down nice and low. I'm going to fire this hand across the other side. Again, I can either go thumb inside or just catch a hold of the material. So really slap and grab the material. And now from here again, I can come in, get that choking finish there straight away. And the other one, the classic baseball choke from here. So if we are here, if I'm fighting to get in this lapel, I can't get there, I feed across the other side. So elbow in, nice and low, hand in nice and deep. Now I'm only going to get my thumb in underneath, so it's nice and easy to get that second hand in. Thumb goes inside, get that baseball grip, elbows come together. I can bail off here now, back to where we were a second ago. Elbows together, down nice and low, head on the ground to block, hips up and squeeze for a finish. So that's side control and knee on belly. So a few options from there. So next up we want to have a look at the turtle if we can. So Jason's in the turtle position, and again, we classically want to look at our clock chokes from here. So anytime I, just come back to time, this way if we can. So from here, this is one of those positions that really differentiates the gi from no gi. Again, we've been looking at a lot of no gi stuff and getting people to stand up and move around with wrestling style escapes. But as soon as you do that, in a gi, you leave your neck very, very vulnerable. So that's one of the big differentiators between the gi and no gi game. So anytime I'm on the back, whether I'm starting in any of our sort of classic back positions, if I can manage to get underneath, open his lapel and come through this space where I get my thumb inside over here, is super vulnerable to a clock choke. So the beauty of a clock choke is that there's lots of different ways to finish it. It's a very, very strong choke. So the first one we looked at, we're in position, I'm getting control here. I've got multiple options. So once I'm here, I come out, I'm going to bring my forearm and to the ground and my arm over the top of his shoulder here. So this acts as a block. My weight comes around, I'm going to circle, 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 and that'll just bring that choke on fairly quickly through there. Again, we try to keep nice and square with our body as we turn through there. Try and avoid the habit of trying to sit your hips forward, because it'll give them a chance to come and reverse you in the other position. So first one over the shoulder, second one, same thing. I can come through and grip with a wrist ride. And again, the way I first learned this was watching Mendez brothers, and they would like actually get this and drive the guy down to a shoulder here. So even stronger, I think, because that makes it very hard for him to escape now. As I move around through here, he's very limited with his mobility, and we can get that choke on nice and strong. I can also do the classic Mario Sperry finish that he got Hoyle Gracie with way back in the day. If you want to go and check that out. So arm in again, same thing again. As I move around in a circle here, if I do nothing with my free arm and I try and choke him, Jason's going to keep turning with me. Turn in a circle, and the choke will never come on. So he goes back the other way. So all of these options are there to stop him from turning. And one good option is to get here and then get my spiral right and get my arm inside here. And now as I move out and around, he can't follow and the choke comes on again. And then on the topic of Gracie's getting choked out by Carlson Gracie guys, we will, the final one that we looked at was the cross choke from the back as well. So from here, I get a classic cross choke grip. And this is what Valid Ismail choked out Royce Gracie with in Japan many years ago. In Brazil many years ago. So I have the grip in, I get my classic cross grip choke. Same thing again, I turn, head down low. I can put my head on the ground if you want for base, but you don't need to. I move around and just get that angle and that choke comes on again. The other classic one we did from here is looking at chokes from the crucifix position. So if I am here and he's super tight, and I can't get anything in, I'm going to use my knee, dig open here, open up that space to try and catch his arm. Once I catch his arm and I transfer, I'll try and look for that lapel. So now he's only got one hand defending. I get that lapel grip. If I'm in here, if I drop him down here, I can start to sometimes get a choke here, but more often than not, I'm going to have to go and roll through. As I roll through here, back a touch. That's it. I get into a position where I want to move my hip out, so his head's just shelved on top of my body here. And now again, with this leg taken out of the way, I can look to just to get a free choke on his neck there. It's good. And so the last couple then we'll look at is just looking at from the front headlock position. Okay, so this one, Chase is here again. So he's in the turtle position. We've either decided we don't like what's going on here, or we just ended up, if he's sprawled on us, but we've moved around to the front. So once we get to the front position here, just going to switch on it. A couple of really good options available for us here. There's a rolling T-choke. So again, we've got lots of different things, options in terms of getting behind, etc. But as I start to get in here, if I can freely get my hand in and pass this lapel off to the other side, so I get that choking hand in place, we can come around straight away and and look for a rolling T-choke. So from here, I get my hand behind, open the space up so I can put my head underneath. So I want to put my head underneath to say hello to him before I choke him. So control the tricep, head comes under, come on through. Once we come out the other side, the hand, just like our lapel half Nelson, dives in behind his head as a block. Okay, and now from here, I'm going to move my body in towards him and move my head away. So I come in and then move away to get the strong choking finish. The last version we did from here was a reverse bow and arrow choke. Okay, so again, we had our position over here. This time I can't get in behind him over on his tricep. He's just been too tight, so there's no way I'm going to be able to get my head in behind here to get that finish. So instead I come around, I find his calf, so I go on the inside of his calf over here, and now I'm going to jump over the top of his head and block his body with my shin. As I drop back into a position where now again, it's like the reverse of a bow and arrow choke. I'm pulling him this way, turning his hip so he can't turn it towards me, driving my leg over the top of his head here so he can't lift it up, and now I use my body weight to extend back, and that choke comes on for a nice finish as well. And that's the end of part 2.